Hi, welcome all. This is Anshika Agrawal, and today we are going to discuss on the topic clinical testing of nutraceuticals and health food. Nutraceuticals are the food components that provides the medical and health benefits including the prevention and treatment of the disease beyond the basic nutrition that the food provide. Basically, the nutraceuticals are present in the form of pills, capsules and syrups. Today, the market is flooded with a plenty of nutraceutical products. Even post COVID, its market has been grown from $4 billion to $20 billion as of now, as the people after that are more concerned about their health and immunity, and also they want the organic product. But you know what? Before reaching to the market, the clinical testing of this nutraceutical is very important as it evaluates their safety, efficacy, and potential health benefits in human beings through well designed and well controlled studies. Whenever the development of the new nutraceutical product is being done, the many steps are being followed. For example, the identification of the health condition, the food matrix selection, the relevant compound identification in the phytocomplex, their in vitro safety assessment, their mechanism of action, and it further moves to the clinical trials for the proper dose assessment, in vivo safety, and the effectiveness of assessment before it is available in the market. The clinical testing of nutraceuticals and health food is important to ensure the safety and efficacy of the product that has been developed, and the requirements to conduct these clinical testings depends on the various factors like specific product that has been developed, the targeted population, claims that has been made by the producer about that product and its health benefits. There are some key requirements and methods of clinical testing of nutraceutical and health foods that we will discuss in the further slides. As you can see in this flow chart, the nutraceutical product that has been developed, it undergoes to the various stages. Firstly, it goes to the preclinical stage. In this preclinical stage, the studies are done on animals or in vitro models. It is done to evaluate the efficacy, efficiency, and safety in animals and in vitro models before it is subjected to the human beings. Once it passed the preclinical trial, then it is sent to the phase 1 trial. In phase 1 clinical trial, small group of healthy individuals, that is 10 to hundreds, are being selected to evaluate the safety of nutraceutical and the health food to estimate their response rate towards the product that has been developed. Further, if it passes the phase 1 trial, then it further moves to the phase 2nd trial, in which the healthy individuals, like the large population than the clinical trial, that is 100 to 1000 volunteers are being taken, including the people with the targeted health condition that has been claimed by the producer of the product. It helps in optimizing the optimal dose and the administration time to the human beings. Further, it is moved to the phase 3rd clinical trial, in which the larger group than the phase 2nd trial, the healthy individuals are being selected, often in multiple locations, and the treatment is given to confirm its effectiveness and monitor the side effect. And then it is compared with the commonly used treatments and collect the information that allows it to use safely within the humans. As you can see in the flowchart, before moving to the phase 4th, it is subjected for the marketing approval. The marketing approval is very important for the marketing of the product, and it is done by the regulatory approval. For example, in India, the regulatory body for the nutraceutical is FSSI. It looks after all the concerns and the labeling issues and etc. for the nutraceutical products. Globally, various regulatory bodies are present that we will discuss in the next slide. But after the marketing of the product, that is the when the product has been commercialized, it reaches to the phase 4 clinical trial. To understand the adverse event pharmacological effect on the different stages like the elderly, child, pregnant woman, morbidity, if it is causing any morbidity, mortality, and also the new indication, new possible purpose. Phase 4 trials may also result in product recall or voluntary withdrawal from the market if it is fall into the if the product fails to meet any of the demand or it cause any of the problem. When we are designing the study of the clinical trial, the size of the population is also a very important factor, and then accordingly the study design is being used. When we are taking the small population, the single blind method is used in which the participant is unaware whether they are receiving the nutraceutical health food or the placebo. In this method, the small group can be easily monitored. When we move further to the large population, the double blind method is being used in which both the participant and the researchers are unaware whether they are receiving the placebo or the nutraceutical or the health product. Also, the randomization method is used in which the participant is being given with the random treatment by chance. As globally various regulatory bodies are present. For example, in Europe, EFSA is the one who looks after the regulation of the nutraceutical, and EFSA here stands for European Food Safety Authority. In Japan, it is FOSHU, that is Food for Specified Health Users. In India, FSSAI, that is Food Safety Standards Act of India. In Australia, it is TGA, that stands for Therapeutic Good Administration. In USA, it is the United States Food and Drug Administration. The work of this regulatory body is to find the content, to make the labeling, standards, evaluation of the product, licensing and the registration of the product, import and sales and suspension, and then the recommendation of the product whether it is going to be available in the market or not. The Indian brand, standardization of the regulation, IPR protection, awareness, new retail programs, strict evaluation guidelines, and the vulnerability assessment is the main works that has been done by these regulatory bodies. Further, here I have discussed one case study in which the clinical evaluation of the oral probiotic Streptococcus salivarius K12 in the prevention of the recurrent pharyngitis and or tonsillitis caused by the Streptococcus pyogenes in adults is being discussed. As Streptococcus salivarius K12 has been shown to inhibit the growth of Streptococcus pyogenes due to bacteriocins release. Because of its ability to colonize the oral cavity, we have tested the strain of K12 for its efficiency in preventing the streptococcal pharyngitis and or tonsillitis in adults. The method that they have chosen is they have chosen the 40 adults with a diagnosis of recurrent oral streptococcal pharyngitis where controlled in the study was done. 20 of these subjects took for 90 days a tablet as containing the Streptococcus salivarius K12 and the rest 20 subjects served as untreated controls, and their 6-month follow-up was included to evaluate any persistent protective role or the difference in their situation has been monitored. Result of it is the 20 adults who completed the 90-day course of Bactoblis showed a reduction in their episodes of streptococcal pharyngeal infection, that is about the 80%, and the incident of reported pharyngitis in the 9th month period following the use of product. The product was well tolerated by the subject with no treatment related side effects or dropouts reported. So it has been concluded that the prophylactic administration of Streptococcus salivarius K12 to adults having a history of recurrent oral streptococcal pathology reduce the number of episodes of streptococcal pharyngeal infection and or tonsillitis. So the conclusion of this topic is The requirement of the clinical testing of nutraceutical and health food is to establish the safety and efficacy of the product developed for the human consumption. It is also given clinical support to the claim that has been made by the producer of the product about its health benefit. And if the product has been clinically verified, then it gains the consumer's attraction and the consumer's safety concern as well. Here are the references, and thank you. Thank you for listening me.